type faster. I can't sustain this just for my own psyche. You need to type more and give me more fuel. You need to type faster so we can continue this discussion. Everyone say, oh, NL's got a straw man. Yeah, because the real man types too slow. I have to make up your arguments because you're backspacing. That's not exactly the way I want to phrase this. Run it through Grammarly. Make sure there's no punctuation errors. If you type faster, I wouldn't have to make your opinion up. Right now, I have a problem. I'm getting like a repetitive stress injury in my hip because I keep crossing my legs. But my chair, I mean, it's a multifaceted issue. I can't put my feet flat on the floor because my chair's too high. But if I lower my chair, it makes me look like a little fucking manlet on the camera. So I need a footrest that's like that big. I need a 3-inch tall footrest. Because I keep this is going to really piss you off. I keep using my PS5. And if that pisses you off, what do you want me to do? Nothing? It's not like I got any games for it. I would rather not have a $700 footrest too. Maybe they should make some damn games so I don't have to use it as a piece of furniture. I can't say what I want to say without you getting... Because somehow I've cultivated an audience that's full of people who think that stuff is hilarious. When it's not my sense of humor at all, but you think that I'm funny, and you think that that's funny, and that hurts me. Just you laughing at that insults me via the transitive property of humor. You didn't cultivate us? Bro, if I'm not the garden, I'm at least the watering can, okay? You think you're the shit, you're not even the fart, buddy. I cooked and ate lunch, went to the gym, played soccer. I come back, you're still playing this game. How entertaining can it be? First time chat, how entertaining could your lunch and your soccer be if you came back? If your soccer and your lunch were awesome, shouldn't you still be enjoying them right now instead of coming back to my boring ass? I mean, you're the one, you left and you came back. And now you're saying something like, how stupid am I to still be playing this game? Buddy, you came back. You're like Rachel in the Friends season finale. You got off the plane, buddy. They don't get it. They just don't get it. Thousands. One time I stayed over at my friend's house in college. I think it was Halloween. But Halloween back then, this was 2008 or something, so it was before climate change, right? We stayed up. We were heavily, heavily intoxicated. I slept in his roommate's room. And I woke up at like 10 in the morning. I was covered in snow. And I was so hungover, and I woke up like buried in snow, kind of. And I went like, what the fuck is going on? His room had a skylight, and they left the skylight open, so I was getting snowed on inside all night. Rude ass awakening, man. Probably the worst headache I've ever had in my entire life. So we came back and the garbage can was full of insects. And bro, he was in Mech Eng, okay? And he's a very smart guy, but it's adjacent to chemical engineering. He just took like all of our detergents and started pouring them into the garbage can. And I went, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He was pouring like bleach and like toilet bowl cleaner and shit into it to try to like melt the insects. And I was like, you're going to kill us all, man. He was like, why? I was like, you're making chlorine gas. All I'm saying is, if you drove over a bridge today, thank a civil engineer. And then thank the biologist that kept them from killing themselves in university with mustard gas. Engineers will say it's fake. Shouldn't pull into traffic if you can't get up to speed. Okay, enjoy being stuck in that fucking spot for the next like 12 years then. Sometimes you might only get a 150-foot gap in traffic, okay? You got to take what you're fucking given. What's it like to live in a perfect world? Well, I would simply sit in my car forever. I would sit in my car for the rest of my life. Sometimes you got to just hit the gas, and then, you know what's a pro tip? Look in your mirrors and go, that's a safe distance. And then just pull out and don't look in your mirrors again. Because if you look in your mirrors again, you might see them coming up behind you real quick. But if you don't look in your mirrors again and you just look straight ahead, no one can hurt you. Knowledge is power. My daughter said, why is that person honking so much? And I said, you know how you told me there was a kid in your class who lost a game and started throwing a temper tantrum, sometimes those kids grow up to be adults who know how to handle their big feelings, and sometimes they grow up to be big kids who still can't handle their big feelings. And she went, oh, okay, I get it. Basically, I said, you're fucking stupid if you do that. You're like literally, you have the emotional maturity of a 5-year-old, bro. Of like a 5-year-old who is a little bit behind on where their milestones should be. Honking your horn 100 times because you had to slow down a little bit but chose not to? Pissing me the fuck off, man. I have one tip for you, and it's not even a joke. Well, first off, we live in a turbid and chaotic universe, so a lot of it's out of your control. At least 1/3 of the determination of whether or not you're going to pass your driver's test is literally based on your conditions, which is beyond your control. One person jaywalking, or someone running a red light, or like somebody not putting their signal light on can have a massive impact on whether or not you'll pass the test. That is not meant to make you more nervous. It's literally meant to make you less nervous because it's outside of your control. There's nothing you could do about it. We live in a universe that there's no such thing as absolute certainty. Even the best driver on earth could fail the driver's test, which means if you fail, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad driver. And it also means if you pass, you might be shitty. So don't get a big head about it. You will also die someday. Fuck, I forgot to make a smoothie this morning. I was wondering why our morning routine was like 8 minutes faster. I was like, why are me and my daughter ready for drop-off so much sooner than we normally are? I was like, I must be forgetting something, but I've got my hat, I've got my bag. I guess it's just one of those times where you feel like you're forgetting something, but you're not actually forgetting something. That must be hard. You don't understand. I'm in a creatine monohydrate loading phase. So every day that I forget to make a smoothie, I have to restart my loading phase and take 4 scoops of creatine instead of getting into the maintenance phase where you take 1 scoop of creatine. So you wouldn't understand what it's like to have to take 4 scoops of creatine monohydrate straight to the dome. This is going to set me back weeks. I feel like our culture is losing a lot. I don't want it to lose the tradition of old men using the hand dryer to dry their balls at the YMCA. It's literally good. You don't want people to be walking around with damp balls. Otherwise, they might be standing next to you on the bus while you're sitting down, and you're not going to like what you get a whiff of, okay? Every year, the referees get more and more jacked, and it pisses me off. Because if the referees are allowed to do steroids, then the players should be allowed to do steroids too. It's rules for thee and not for me. And don't say, how do you know they're on steroids? Some of these dudes are 62 years old with like 40-inch biceps, man. That's just, that never existed prior to like 2016, okay? It never happened. They should piss test them. They probably got the people working in the concession stand getting piss tested. They should piss test the referee, too. I mean, they got Nick Kyrgios for cocaine, bro. They shouldn't have made it bladeless if they didn't want us to put our cock and balls in it. A blade, I would be like, I'm not putting my cock and balls in there. My cock and balls are going to get chopped off. But presumably, I'm evil because I assume that they took the blade out because they're like, now you can dry your cock and balls in this without getting them cut off. I guess I'm an asshole. You can get bullied, but trust me, if you're like in the tabletop board games and you think jocks are bullies, you got a lot of learning to do. I'm not saying the tabletop nerds are bigger bullies. I'm just saying you get bullies in every single domain. Oh, everyone at Magic is wholesome chungus until my wife beats them in a GP, and then all of a sudden it's why do I even come to these things anyway? Nah, man, he's a nice guy. He's just a little weird. He has a problem with women for some reason, but otherwise, like, he's pretty cool. He's on the level. Peloton? Yeah, for 5 seconds until I found out that somebody in the Peloton Discord got banned for typing, pedal, you fucking donkey. They got banned for hate speech. Here's the caveat. They typed it in a private message to themselves! To them fucking self. Stop. What, you don't like me airing it out? What the hell? Well, mostly, what the hell do the Zwift mods, what business do they have being in your DMs on Zwift? That's, I mean, I get that it ain't Signal, okay? You didn't expect end-to-end encryption or something like that, but I don't want to know what the Zwift mods are seeing in the DMs on Zwift. Pedal harder, you fucking donkey, might be like the best you get. Do they have 6'7" in China? I'm not even fucking with you. They have 6'6". They have Leo, and they do this. Actually, I think they do it 3 times. Leo, and they go like that. When I said Leo, and I did this, my teacher got really mad, and she said it's 3 times. So I guess saying it twice might mean you're telling someone to like go drown or something. But 3 times is like, that's cool. 2 times, no, do not do it. 2 times is really, 2 times is what you do on a funeral. So you're basically saying you wish that they were a dead ghost and their ancestors were banished to purgatory forever. But 3 times means that was pretty awesome. The verb to take off as in clothing is in Mandarin? Tuo. You know what shoe is? Xie. You know what it is to take off your shoes? Tuo xie. You know what slippers are? Tuo xie. Same fucking tones, same fucking letters, same fucking characters, bro. You're gonna tell me, oh yeah, English is uniquely fucked up. Absolutely not. So what's the difference? You have to derive it at runtime based on the context. Are they telling me to take off my shoes, or are they saying you got nice slippers? They hate us, man. I know as a monolingual white guy, it's so tempting to think like, look at all the amazing content I'll get access to if I just speak another language. Then once you get you dip your toe in the waters of another language and you start watching their content, you're like, nah, it turns out we're all seeds that fell from the same damn tree. We're all making and watching a copious amount of bullshit just about every single day, apparently. All the art looks exactly the same variation of shitty. There's not even shitty in like a unique way. They are all just kind of like, what do you want me to do? Be like, yeah, that's a person with brown hair. That's a cartoon person with brown hair. Fantastic. Wow. Great job. And you typed that in. You got it to make that. Like, it just looks so stupid and uninteresting. You're supposed to just be like, wow, a picture. I didn't realize in this world where we have such a dearth of images. I'm not constantly being bombarded with images every second of every day. And you manage to make an image? A completely meaningless image that symbolizes nothing at all. And we're supposed to be like, amazing, there it is. I just don't understand what the point of it is, man. I did not say she looks like a Dark Souls enemy. I did not say that. And I did not almost finish the sentence by saying which Dark Souls enemy she doesn't look like. No, it's not Dragon Butt, but that's... Oh! You hate her? I literally said she's attractive in an unconventional sort of way. That's actually cooler than being attractive in a conventional way, which is boring. Like AI art, which we hate. Wait, you brought me back? I was walking on the street yesterday by a Vietnamese restaurant, and they used to have photos of the food on their window. And at some point this summer, they took down the photos of their food and put up AI representations of the photos of their food. So now when you walk by the restaurant, they're like, we have spring rolls, we have pho, we have banh mi, we have like Vietnamese curry. And it's like, I know what these look like, man. I want to know what yours looks like. Or at least, like, I want to be tricked into believing that you took the picture. Like, how stupid do you think I am that I'm going to walk by and be like, oh, the chicken wings look awesome. The clip art of the chicken wings looks crazy good. It just seems so insane to me. Why did they go to space? Now you're pissing me the fuck off. Because you've probably seen the fucking movie. In the end of the movie, they get in the elevator and it shoots out through the top of the building. The sequel of the book is just what happens after that. What happens when something goes up? It goes to space, bro. It doesn't just land. The book is called Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, and it's a picture of them in a glass elevator on the cover in outer space looking down upon the earth. He was the one who got kidnapped. That's actually, now that I think about it, I never really thought about it that way. It's fucked up to get mad at King Kong for kidnapping a person when it was people who kidnapped King Kong. The only reason King Kong could even kidnap a person is because he was Kong-napped. That's a good way to phrase it. He was made royalty. He was literally a freak at a show for New Yorkers to go and go, my God, by Jove, what a prodigiously large primate. One of the worst fates you could possibly have, to be ogled by the good people of New York City as some kind of freak of nature. Teaching me to put milk in cereal is literally financial terrorism. Because now what? Well, now I'm an adult and I've got to spend $4 a week on milk just to be happy now? You fucking cursed me. Maybe the anti-natalists are right, bro. $4 a week, 52 weeks, $208 a year, times 50 years of being an adult, that's like 10 grand in milk, man. You literally, introducing that milk to my cereal cost me $10,000. That's why I eat it fucking dry. I'm a little too self-serious. But also, fuck you for even suggesting that. Fuck you for thinking that having an inner child means that you buy sugary cereal instead of looking around the world with curious eyes and whimsy in your heart. Oh, the only way that you can have an inner child is by buying sugary cereals and wearing, like, striped shirts and shit like that? They got you by the fucking throat. You can harness your inner child for free by just enjoying a sunset or wondering what kind of bird that is, okay?